Hello, good morning, friends and all participants. I am Dr. Sunil Semal and I am welcoming you to the second webinar of this series. Today we have with us Dr. Rajkumar Haldar. Mukesh will introduce Dr. Rajkumar after my speech. Uh, this event is organized by Tulaz Institute and Tech Counselor. Tulaz Institute is the uh, Engineering and Management Institute situated in Dehradun, and this event is sponsored by TQ3. So I will very thankful for TQ to give us the sponsorship. Tulaz we have Tulaz Business and Technology Incubator, and we are doing this event in the flag of incubator also. Beside all these things, we have Swachnir, Yuana, Avni, and so many, we can say, industry partners and other academic partners like Krishna Medical Institute. Now, Mukesh will take the mic. Mukesh?
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Samuel. Thank you. Dr. Samuel, can I start?
Yeah, you can start, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Samuel, sir. It's indeed great pleasure for us also to be with the program and to be the organizer for the program. We really thanks Tulaz Institute and to our tech counselor team for organizing this great event, as well as we thanks to Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be university from Maharashtra, to be the co-organizer for the event. To our technical sponsors, Uttarakhand Technical University and TQ for funding the whole event, and then to our knowledge partner and technical partner, which includes Ramanujan Academy of Science and Technology, Yuvana Tech and Craft Private Limited, Swachh Neer, Baudik Ventures Private Limited, Kaviraj Foundation, and Trides. So these all sponsors will be helping out with the mentoring to all our audience and participants. Like Baudik Ventures will be supporting five of the participants with their IPR support, and they will not be charging any professional fees for their trademark registration. And then Kaviraj Foundation will also be our CSR partner for the whole event. And then Yovana Tech and Craft will be mentoring for digital marketing and for the website development to the participant who have that kind of queries. So we welcome to all the participants for this great event, opportunities for R&D ecosystem and tech-driven startups, which will be for the whole month from 20th June to 15th of July. And in between that, we will have almost 10 plus of experts from various countries and from various part of the India as well as, and who will be having like different kind of exposure and expertise from industry to academia. And most of them will be from like you can say CEOs and founders, directors, senior professors, R&D engineers, scientists, and all. So for them also, I'll just put that in my next slide, like who will be who are these people, and then tech counselor team will always be over there to support you with your queries, with your any kind of support for entrepreneurship development as well as for startups and mentorship. So I just request Dr. Raj to put next slide on the screen so that I can briefly tell to all audience about my experts. Dr. Raj, can you put next slide?
It is already there. It is already there.
Okay.
It is already there.
Okay. So we have Dr. Fabio Messi. Technical Director, R&D Manager at IRIDRA, and also the he's Vice President for Global Wetland Technology from Italy. Then we will have Madan Kanala, who is the founder and CEO for SNOM. Then we'll have Dr. Amit from Dubai, Dr. Raman Sarma, Senior Scientist from NIRI. We will also have Dr. Rajkumar Heldar, who is our today expert, and he is the CEO and founder for Rivenile Biomedical OPC Private Limited. We'll also have Professor Manoj Panda, who is senior professor at Govind Ballabh Pant Institute of Engineering and Technology, and also the state project administrator for State Project Implementation Unit (SPIU) Uttarakhand. Then we'll have Naveen from France, Shiv Prasad Kotial he's the data scientist at Insof Education, Hyderabad, India. Abhishek Gupta will also be with us. He's research engineer from Hungary. Then yesterday we had Vinay Chaudhary sir with us. He's assistant professor at UPS Dehradun. We will also have senior professor, which includes Dr. Sunil Semwal. He's the HOD and professor at Department of Electrical Engineering for Tulas Education, and as well as he's the organizing secretary for the whole event. Ajit will also join us during the course of the time period. He is researcher at NASA ISRO SAR project, and as well as the founder for Ramanujan Academy from Maharashtra. One of our corporate partner, which include Bodhik Ventures, his director Saurav Trivedi, who is the founder and director for the company, will also have a session on IP with us. Udayveer from Tech Counselor team will lead the R&D and embedded topic for the hardware and all. Sakshi Gupta from Graphigera University will also be over there, and then Dr. Jayant Pawar from Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be university, will also lead the session for agri-tech kind of domain. And then Miss Renu at the end of the day will also at the end of the month will also have one session on R&D and R&I. She is the co-founder and director for the Tech Counselor team. So these all people will be with us for the whole month, and we will have one-to-one interactive sessions with our audience, as well as we will try to have this wonderful session to make more on the vision and aim of the government, which clearly says like to make India a global R&D hub. So these will be our experts for the whole month. And today we have Dr. Rajkumar Haldar with us, who is the CEO and founder for Rubenal Biomedical OPC Private Limited. To his credit, I can say he's having more than 19 plus of academic experience in biomedical domain, and then which includes 10 years of international research experience. Also 7 years of pharmaceutical experience. He has developed 3 products so far. This is the last data which I had, and then he's also having 4 government projects worth of 2 CR funding projects. Then he received his fellowship, which include like Max Planck from Germany, and then from USA for his postdoc, as well as PhD fellowship from Spain. So, Dr. Raj, I welcome you all. I welcome you for this session, and to take the session further to this point. And I really hope that our audience will really have insightful thought on the topic like R&D and R&I in defense and biomedical for the next generation startup and entrepreneurship. So, welcome, Raj.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mukesh, and thank you, Sambal. Thank you for the organizer too, and I'm very happy to be over here. A couple of things I would like to mention.
Raj, sorry to interrupt. Your slide is not coming. Can you just check it out?
Now it's coming.
Your slide is not on the screen. Can you just check it out?
It's coming. I can see it.
Can you just close it once and stop sharing the screen, and can you do it again so that it may come?
Stop sharing. Okay. Then I have to share again.
Share again.
Share screen. Share screen. This. Can you see it now?
Yeah, you can just put the whole slide on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, can you see it?
On the slide mode, just for a few seconds, like second slide and third slide. I think we missed it during the introduction. The first few seconds, like 10 seconds or so. Second slide and then third slide.
Then third.
Yeah, so these are our experts, and we will introduce them again during the time period. And so Dr. Raj is with us. So you can start with your brief introduction with this slide, and then we can go ahead, right?
Okay, all right. That's good.
Yeah, Raj. Yeah, please.
All right. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all the audience. And I hope this talk will help you to understand that you can pursue whatever you want in biomedical, as well as AI in biomedical, AI in defense, If you want, I can go in details later on, but it will be like a total presentation. I will give you the glimpse, and we can bring to the next level if you are very much interested. Myself, I passed out from IIT Kharagpur, the premier institute in India. Then I got special fellowship from Spain. Then I got 21st century fellowship from Max Planck. Then I got USA fellowship in US, and I was also a scientist in Novartis. I do have research experience, almost 20 years, including 10 years abroad. And my bread is chemistry, chemical science. My butter is biology. And my sugar is nothing but a drug discovery. So I put them all together, and I try to make such a good sandwich that I can eat, as well as that my country or the society can develop or get benefits out of it. So what I understood last 5 years after when I started my own company, it is like selecting problem is the biggest challenge. Everybody thinks that they have the solution. Everybody thinks that, okay, I am smarter than anybody else. Those are absolutely fine. But problem has to be well defined before you put the solution. If it is not well defined, if it is not targeted, you will be always moving here and there, and you will lose your target. So at the end, what you will go that without doing innovation, all the finance will be consumed, your endurance will be challenged, your persuasiveness will be shown to others, and no collaborator you will find that they will come to you because you don't have specific target. That will solve the biggest challenge that humanity or public health is facing. So even if you decide to define target, you have to analyze it very well. That analysis point comes if you have background, and if you don't have background, if you have leadership, then you can occupy somebody or you can hire somebody who has extremely good analyzing power. Once he is analyzing power, please share with him and make a coordination that both of you can develop a system that can be implemented. Delivering is different. It will come much later. You have to implement it with your own resources or with the partner. And once you get little bit resources, you get little data, then you look for funding. Nowadays, government of India is giving a lot of funds, but because of 1.3 billion people, because of everybody thinks they have a lot of solution, competition is very high. So getting that grants, if you get it, please celebrate before you go to the next level and say, yes, I have the product to deliver. With your permission, I go to the next slide. Like, you have to sit locally. Remember, until you have the concentration, which is very much localized, then you can think about globally. And once you think about the globally, that same problem can be delivered to universally. So wherever you are sitting, it does not matter. It is your small room, it is your garage, it is your in a street, or when you are walking. But problem has to be defined, and then you think such a way that this is such a huge problem. It has a long view that people are asking for it. Then you can deliver it. Even just thinking that you want to go for food, you want to go for agriculture, you want to go for biomedical. Once it is your problem, it might be problem to a lot of hundreds of people or millions of people. If you can solve one problem for one person, that will be the very beginning of the iceberg to melt the iceberg. Okay, I go to the next slide. Look at this. Biggest problem everybody talk about, we know it, but nobody has solution. If you think you are the next entrepreneur, social entrepreneurs, and you want to deliver to the people, think about it. We do have 75% water on this earth, but still more than 75% people, they don't have drinking water, which is pathogen free, which is metal free, and which is good for health. So earth is asking for good quality of water through the innovation, like the young people like you. And if you look at the right side, there are some places, a few places in India itself, that people has to dig, and then people has to bring water. And most of this event have been done by female. So if you think that you have, if you want to develop something that will make the equality, that will help them as well as help the humanity to grow, please try to bring something that how we can purify water that will be available to everybody. Technology, you might have it, you may have it, but that technology, it has to be scalable. It has to be scalable. If you put the UV light to kill all the bacteria, it is not enough, because still there are a lot of villages, a lot of places that they have water, but they don't have electricity, and the water they have it is very dirty, and they get a lot of waterborne diseases. If you agree with me, let us work together on that. How it is possible? Is it possible that we can use any algae-based solution? We don't need any electricity. Is it possible that we can use also bacteria that can remove salt, that can use remove heavy water, and same times at the end of the process we can remove all the bacteria which are bad for our health as well as good bacteria to make the pathogen-free water? And to see that water scarcity, you might remember last year it happens in Chennai. It happened south of India, but please don't be worried. It will also come to north of India, and it will be pan of India. If we don't work today, within few years, it will be a global pandemic, and we are in the verge of that. If we don't have enough water, if we don't have good quality water, which is missing, and most of the time so far, what we are taking groundwater for our drinking, for our survival, and which is going down drastically. Now, the farmers, they are also facing big problem, and farmers is the backbone of our society. Because of drought, because of lack of rains, most of the crops are out. Can we develop a system that where we need less water, more crops? So two things you will do it. One thing is you purify water. Another thing is you use less water for agriculture that everybody can survive. That is nothing but 7 billion people. Yes, do you have any solution? I gave you two challenges. One challenge, drinking water. Another challenge that we have to stop, bring out groundwater and manage with minimum water, maximum outcome. If you have it, please write it down. And if you think that we can discuss further, we can go beyond it. Secondly, whenever you drink water and you are traveling, what do you use? This is also another biggest challenge. If you're an entrepreneur, let us look at this. That water, it is a very much necessity or necessary for our survival, for our well-being. But that single-use plastic we throw, and if you look at the right top pictures, the whole world is eaten by toxic plastic. You cannot go to beach. Even the tea you are drinking is full of microplastic. Wherever you go, you may not see 100 meters in the night any human being, but you will see plastic every 2 feet, every 1 feet, everywhere it is. It is damaging our well-being. It is toxicating our mind. It is evaporating. It is developing a chemicals that is, collapsing our lungs. And that might be the reason that we are less resilient to combat the current pandemic too. So if it is so, these are the problems. As we know, there are millions of bacteria. Can you, me, other people use microbacteria or bacteria itself that can eat all those plastics? That can eat such a way that all microplastic eaten and it is pollution-free environment for us, for our next generation, for our next to next generation. So in this case, I put two solutions. One is we can use we can use bacteria that can eat all the plastics. And second one, whatever happened, that will be decomposed with the time. Maybe it will take thousands of years. Is it possible we develop new chemicals that can make biodegradable plastic? That is really biodegradable. If you go to market right now, you find out everybody is saying it is a biodegradable, it is a biodegradable, but actually those are not biodegradable. They are making us fool. Truly biodegradable plastic is very expensive. And that might be the reason the people like me, you, most of the people, they don't accept it. And we go like, okay, nobody's watching it. But at the end of the day, we got to the point to realize that we have to develop either chemically or either microbiologically a biodegradable plastic that is sustainable for our self-well-being, sustainable for our societal development, and sustainable for the next generation. Now, if you have contaminated water, microplastic, bacteria, those are heavy metal contaminated, those will be in the food. And at the end, you will find out the left top that the same water, whatever we are throwing out, we are also digging it, bringing up for our survival. And that is the reason it gets a lot of pathogenic water, a lot of disturbance in the society. The typhoid fever, because of water. Kidney stone is getting, that is also because of water. Liver disease, it is also getting because of water. Heart disease, it is also because of water. And more than that, the new generation, 2-in-1, the pregnant mother, if they drink that microplastic containing water, which is thinking that is good water, the baby gets affected. Once baby get affected, there are two things. It might be permanent damage, it might be temporary damage. How we will find out? And if we find out, yes, that baby who is supposed to be born and has the same right of us to live better, how to help that baby? There are a lot of babies are coming. And there are a lot of villages, a lot of societies, even they don't know that drinking water is highly contaminated because of different pathogens, because of metals, because of other stuff. So to do so, we need to develop some kind of biomedical intervention. So far, whatever I told you, that is how we can have water for everybody, how we can have water that can help the farmers to produce more with few drops, and sometimes how we can make water for better well-being as well as for better public health. Let's go to the, if there is a problem that we cannot solve in this region, then how we can intervene with the biomedical procedures. So medicine and interface, these are the blockbuster that is always there and will be there, that will help us to survive and bring the humanity in next stages with our intellectual power. Look at this. Even if a doctor says that you give this medicine, that medicine, this, still it is not enough. Because it was supposed to be that if someone or any big pharmaceutical company is developing one drug, it was supposed to be for a couple of millions, if it is not billions. And it is very expensive at the very beginning. And once patent is out, they get generic version when it gets much cheaper and accessible by everybody. But time has been changed. That is because of artificial intelligence. That is because of Internet of Things. That is because of supercomputing. We have enough data and it is so big that sometimes we also confused. We get confused that how we'll use those data. What happened? Is it possible some of you who are highly interested with artificial intelligence or machine learning, can you compile those data and can you make a diagram or an algorithm which is extremely efficient when more than 90%, 95%, 98%, and can decide that there are thousands of drugs, there are thousands of millions of drugs, only 2 or 3 drugs would be very good for you and your prognosis would be outstanding. Your well-being should be situated at the top within few days. So that is called precision medicine. Discovering drug is the old stage. Using artificial intelligence or machine learning is the new era. Is it possible? Can we merge them or can we make them marry or having good wedding that they can work together and make a wonderful application for individual well-being. So that is also another platform that any one of you or who is already working on you, they can guide you, is to look at it, that how new entrepreneurship can be born from here. Third one, if we go much more deeper, the people who are biologists over here, they are thinking, what is biotechnology is doing? Yes, biotechnology is doing huge amount of work. If anybody is born or anybody is getting older, they have a lot of diseases, and that is because of one particular gene. There are 46 chromosomes, and then there are a lot of thousands of genes, and mostly almost 20,000 genes are active, the rest are non-active. Out of 20,000 genes, if one of them is expressing highly, and that is making diseases, and that is making somebody's older much faster, that is making somebody unwanted fatigue, can we stop that gene not to express more? Is it possible? Yes, there are techniques, and this technique has been used by microorganisms like bacteria from the very beginning, and they also use for their evolution, for their survival. That is called CRISPR technology. If you want to use that 21st century, this CRISPR technology, and you want to use for gene editing for the disease-free human or for better well-being, then you are the right spot. But I do have one point to tell you. Please, it looks very lucrative. You have to understand what is going on. And more than that, one thing is very much important, how we will deliver. There are billions of cells, thousands of genes, and you have to precisely deliver all the machinery which will chop out that particular gene and make it downregulated or knock out. You have to understand the whole chemistry. It's like, I know how to do it, but I don't know how to deliver it. That means it goes back to the first slide. You have to collaborate with somebody who is master on that. You are master on something, and another person you have to know who is extremely persuasive to make things happen. So this biotechnology, CRISPR technology, it is completely new technology. It can be used for cancer. It can be used for any disease you think. Even the baby in the womb, they can be treated. You don't have to wait that they will be born and then I will treat. That is not the case anymore. You can do over there. But to do all those things, you have to have the also partner from ethicals, clearance, and expert from there. So you understand, I understand your imagination, I understand your power. But as it is too much ethical, then you have to also respect that ethical part, and you have to be partner with those people to bring this to the reality. And as you know, USA, Europe, China, or other countries, Japan, they are being heavily or investing heavily on this. I think the government of India, one will be like BIRAC funding agency, that is a non-profit, that is a company, non-profit, the government company. They are also investing in this technology. You may have look over there, and you can express that this is technology, you have it, you know it, and you want to develop it. If they like it, you go through the competition, they will give you money for that. The second one is, which is also pending right now, that is cancer. Most of the times, if you go to the hospital, a lot of hospitals in India is just treating cancer. But if you look at this, they are still using the cisplatin. They are still using radioactive materials, radiation. They are still using all the drugs that have been developed in Europe or USA. But is it possible that can we develop a technology that our own T cell can be modified and can kill the cancer cells? That is nothing but a CAR T cell therapy. You bring out own T cell, you genetically manipulate all those, then you make this particular spike protein on it, particular protein on surface, and then you give back to your own system. And once you give back, then these cells will be considered as that your therapeutic stuff, and your body will act on the cancer cells. I think that is absolutely very excellent concept, and it is people are already using it, and government is also pushing on this direction, because government has a wish to reach $100 billion markets by 2025. Why you should not be part of that? Your intellectual, your persuasiveness, all are very much encouraged to look at it and how you can bring from here to the next level, which every Indian, every society should be proud of it as well as to be benefited. This is the whole mechanism. How will do it? The next one, which is a little bit diagnostic purpose, but nobody has solution. Everybody thinks, and most of us will feel that we have one person in our family which is passing through it. One of them is, or mostly is, central nervous system disorder. I get old. I don't take care right now. My neurons, motor neurons, which is controlling my movement, controlling my efficiency, controlling my sprint, controlling my all the well-being, exercise, each and everything, all are damaged. And that creates the Parkinson, that I don't have control on my body anymore. I have another kind of neurons which are in the brain that does not remember the present. It always remembers the past. And I am much more efficient to act or sense or reply what is coming at present. That is nothing but Alzheimer. If you go to the Western culture, they have a lot of Alzheimer. In India, we have very less. But as we have the more population, even one person will be much more than the combine of Europe and USA or any part of the world. So it is better to be preventive. It is better to invest right now and look that we have the solution, the people who need the most. The epilepsy, which is curable, but we have to detect it very fast. As we don't detect, we ignore. This is also normal, central nervous system problem. If we do so, then we can save a lot of kids. We can save a lot of humans. And Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, it is also another disease. That is also a neuronal problem. Addiction. Young people, you go to college, you go to any other places, even you think also, okay, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just smoking. I'm taking this with all those things just for a few days. Actually, that is just beginning. Everybody is doing the same things, and they are getting slowly, they're getting addicted, and they become the disruptor for the home and then for the society. The last one, the bottom right, which is very much alarming around the globe, and especially for India, when we have maximum number of young people, but because of depression, the negative thoughts are taking care not to perform them. Do we have any solution? Do we have? So far, there is no solution. Everybody is trying. Can we learn from their failure? Can we bring to the next level? So what I'm trying to say, if you want to develop something, you have to understand the failure of others, what they were lacking, how you can complement. You think you will make the best? I respect you. You make the best, but next generation will be much better than yours. So you will be also part of that. Please, if you think all of this, can we have very much sensitive detecting system for central nervous system that can tell at the early stage that yes, this is the disease, you are going to have it, please take care. You're already depressed, please do this. You're already addicted, please control this part. These diagnostic kits are very much important. That I will come. And government of India is also giving incentive if you develop any product that is related on diagnostic kits. That I will tell you in a short time. Look at this. Another, everybody knows, all of you who are listening, stem cell. It is so much hype from 2000, am I right? But look at this, how we can use the stem cell. It is getting flat that we can use the stem cell, but can we use the stem cell for oncology? If I have my own cell, if I have cancer, I'm telling myself, and if I can use my own fibroblast and I can modify it, which has pluripotency, and I can induce again, then immunogenicity will be very less. And if immunogenicity is very less, then my body will accept more and do the necessary action to control the cancer. That is another way of doing it. It needs hardcore biology. It needs deep biology to understand what are the transcription factors or what are the reagents that I need to put that I can produce iPSC, and that will have the pluripotency. It is going like reverse direction. And the medical application is huge. One of them is you are curing cancer. Another one will be the curing liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver. Another will be cardiac problem. Can you cure the cardiac problem? Because nobody has medicine right now that can stop the cardiac problem. And 70% of the death in India mostly happen because of cardiac arrest. Can you use this system to stop that kind of activity? That will be absolutely great. Same time, this iPSC you can use for diagnostic purpose. You can use also for drug discovery purposes. It has a huge application. I get to the next slide. Look at this. This is non-alcoholic fatty liver. Everybody says if you go to another, Europe or USA, they always believe Indian is like they believe in some kind of Guruji. Their social philosophy is different. They don't drink alcohol. But few days ago, you already saw it. Am I right? When lockdown over, and they said yes, you can go. Nobody went to buy vegetables. There was a fight because of alcohol. But even if we take that things in our account, non-alcoholic fatty liver is very much alarming. The people who don't drink alcohol, they get a lot of fat in their liver. And once you get fat in your liver, then you get digestive problem. If you get digestive problem, then your body is signaling that you get obese. That is, you are not doing anything. You are doing whatever you have to do it, but because of a liver, which detoxify all the unnecessary materials in your body that has to be removed, is not functioning, then liver is getting problem, gallbladder is getting problem, cardiac problems, 1 to Z, then you get neuronal problems. Can you work on it? Somebody will say, oh, there is a tea, if you take every day. It is not the case. Indian people, we are very big fan of tea. A big fan of nowadays, we are getting close to more coffee. But it's not going anywhere. This is another part to think about it. Can we develop something that will be very much important for the societal development, individual well-being. And at the end, we have a dream to be superpower. And why not to start over here? Another part to look at this is that you have a cardiac problem, you have cancer. I told you that I can put this iPSC-induced pluripotency stem cell. But nowadays, all the big company, they realize the monoclonal antibody is also big market. And that is very specific. It needs very small quantity, but extremely effective for the cancer treatment, for the cardiovascular problem, mostly all the diseases you can consider. But to understand that how you can use it, how it will be very much specific for particular disease that you identify to work, or it will be beneficial to the society, you also have to need to understand the antibody. And once you understand the antibody, then you have to understand that how you can produce it. But when you produce it, you will realize it is not enough. Having highly pure antibody, because it needs very small quantity, protein based, so that's why it has to be extremely pure. If there is a small concentration of impurities, and that is immunogenic, it may trigger to have another disease. This antibody concept is very good. It is not new. People are working from the very beginning, but developing new antibody through engineering or expanding genetic code or mutation, and then purifying it and then delivering it, you need really good team. It is possible, but you need to have team who knows what is antibody. You need to have another team who knows how to produce it. You need another body who knows how to purify it. And then you have to also have the doctors in your team. They can direct you. That will help you to get the FDA clearance from the government of India or around the globe. Now, if you look at this, iPSC, the induced pluripotent stem cell, all those things, like you are treating cancer, you are giving some kind of a treatment, everything is related to the tissue. Tissue got mutated, which is out of control, that's why it got cancer. Tissue got damaged, it is not coming back, it is also getting cancer. Tissue, it is getting a lot of UV light, it's not recovering in the night, it is getting cancer. So everything is related with the cell, and then if you multiplied it, it becomes tissue. Once the tissue engineering is also very much important. Why? Because when you get older, you see our hip is gone, our knee is also gone, food, angles, all those things. You see the right side of the picture. But think about it, if we develop that induced pluripotent stem cell, you develop monoclonal antibody that is targeted to rejuvenate the tissue or cells, that you don't need medicine. Just one shot, it will be done. Is it possible? Can you do it? How will you do tissue engineering? So even if you have all those, if you look at this right side, you have all the parts, and you think that you can make different kind of tissue to cure all the diseases, I request you, please be specific. Don't go here and there. Once you are very much specific on one particular disease, you will find out you are just starting to swim, and you have to swim the ocean. It's not river. So tissue engineering, keep in mind that I will work on cell, but sometimes if I work on cell which is very successful, can I work on tissue? And if I work on tissue, can I make this tissue engineer to artificial organs? It is very interesting, all right? If you make the artificial organs, and if I can make the tissue, you will be agree with me that I can have the artificial meat. I can have the high protein food. I don't need to have meat, I don't need to have other things, because there are a lot of vegetarians. If I make the tissue, if I make the tissue engineering, if I do the cell engineering, I can have a lot of application. And not only 7 billion people, you can have almost 20 billion people, there will have no problem. There will have no scarcity on food, no scarcity on human health. The second things, we talked about it, cancer, iPS, tissue engineering. But do you know, everybody from our childhood, most of the people, they have the tumor cell. And that's why our body has anti-tumor activity. We give them time, or we trigger them with the time because of our lifestyle. And then they get bigger, and then they move from one place to another place. As long as they are inside the one solid cell environment, then we call it the tumor. When there are 5 cells or 2 cells which are having the cancerous activity, how we can detect them? Can we? It's very easy to have, you have 1 million cells which are cancerous and which is already going from one place to another place, or you see there is a limb or it is going bigger and bigger, you can say, okay, you have a tumor, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes can you use the technology, modern biotechnology, modern chemical sciences, modern knowledge, modern AI, modern ML, that I have only 3 cells, I have only 4 tumor cells, and I can detect it. Yes, there are a few tumor cells sitting over there. Anytime they will be triggered to move from one place to another place and can be cancerous. That is also another point to take care, and that is everybody is looking for it. So look at this. You are targeting point, but you are targeting micro point over here. You are targeting the micro environment. And the micro environment, once you can manipulate, once you can understand the micro environment of cell, then it will be easy for you to understand or develop new diagnostic kits for the cancer, for the treatment, and for the prognosis. Even sometimes you go for treatment, doctor says it is perfectly fine, but there is always hidden stuff and they relapse. If you do this, that will be good for the individual who is passing through the tough time or who is considering that he or she can live next birthday. How will deliver it? Targeted delivery. I have the IPS. You have the monoclonal body that you can be going to the cancer cells. You want to have the CRISPR. How will deliver it? For that, you need nanotechnology, nanoparticle technology. You have this surface which will target the particular cells you want to sell for CRISPR or T cells. You have to have the system that inside is full of charged molecule, enzymes, which are very much polar, and outside, which is having the surface that can control the pH 7 and very much sustainable in physiological condition. But because of this surface protein or surface functional group, they only target those cancer cells or damaged cells. So to understand, you need somebody, or you can be master on this, or you are already master on this nanoparticle. You can think about it, whatever the problems you decide. Even if you develop the nanotechnology that can hold a lot of water, you can use also for agriculture. This same nanotechnology can be also used for pesticide, larvicide. This nano product can be also used for to minimize dengue, chikungunya, malaria, because all are mosquito-borne disease. So if you can deliver that it has sustainable release, then that it has a long-lasting effect. Even it can be also used for the drug delivery. The medicine which is very pH sensitive and can be broken down in pH, like in stomach 1.5, but you want to deliver in small intestine or large intestine, you can encapsulate them, and then you can open it over there and make it pH sensitive. So it has also a huge application. But we have to see what are the drawbacks and how we can make it sustainable for our individual well-being as well as societal development. It can be also used for the different materials as well as for detecting different diseases by modifying it. This part, it is also you can use biotechnology. Look at this. I'm Bengali. I like fish. Okay, if I don't get it, what I will do it? If there is so much scarcity, I have to look for the protein. Then I can go for algae base, that is spirulina. If you have a good agriculture experience, or algae producing farm, you can go for it. And the new technology is coming. Can I develop bacteria which is not pathogenic but is full of protein? I take just one spoon. Is it possible? Animal-free protein. Bacteria is neither veg, neither non-veg. So anybody can have it. So These are new technology that we can think about it. The biggest market now, whatever I put some of these diagnostic kits and market growth during my last almost 45 minutes. But let me tell you one thing. The diagnostic kit is a market is very much important. And India will spend 86,000 crores just in next year. Just for our own country, 86,000 crores, and 90% will come from abroad. Will come from abroad. Who is getting money? We don't have innovation, that's why we are looking for them. And once they come, you have to pay the price. And who are developing over there? The Indian people. They are going over there, they're utilizing their knowledge, whatever they gained over here, and they are utilizing over there, and they are selling companies. So people, individual people, they are getting good salary, but as a company, they are earning huge amount of money, which is nothing, which is much more than compared to giving one or postdoc salary, two postdoc salary. So we have to develop the environment, we have to develop a mindset that we can develop over here, and we have to have the patience and endurance and perseverance to make it happen. And remember, you cannot have and you cannot work all the diagnostic kit. If you can develop one that is highly efficient and that can be given to everybody or taken by everybody, used by everybody, believe me or not, you thought you sit locally, you thought globally, now you are delivering universally, because this product will go to not only in India, everywhere on this earth. And if it is very good, they will bring to the Mars, I'm sure. You can work with these spikes, they will also, SpaceX, they will bring your product too, to check it out. Look at this market. 2017, it was only $539 million. 2026, $6.9 billion. You like money, I like money. But the problem is we don't want to work and having the money. That is the biggest problem. Now utilize our experience, collaborate with people, and try to find out, let us share together, let us get together and make things happen. Because if I say that all the money should be in India, it is not possible. But sometimes if we develop best product with the time, then we can make it happen. And if you look at the right side, the enzyme-based assay, that is the whole market, right side on the top, kit and reagent and enzyme-based assay. It does not mean that you have to develop the kit for any particular disease. You can go for the kits, you can go for the reagent development, you can go for the whole method development, you can go for the enzyme-based, antigen, antibody, whatever you want. That is absolutely. And CAGR effect is 10.4 globally. So if we do good, everybody's like to see that I don't want to have medicine. Better I see if I have the problem or not. And if you go to any hospital, before they give you medicine, I think they mostly give you do this, do this, do this. So we have to catch the market for preventive manner as well as curative manner. The biggest diagnostic market is the cancer. And government is giving money. They are coming up with this biomanufacturing park, biomedical park. Please check it out. The government website. They are giving a lot of money. They will give a lot of incentive, and they are already talking with the different governments, state governments, that where they should set up and how they will make the self-reliance, that India should be self-reliance. You might be benefited. We individual cannot work with all the cancers, okay? Just select one and then do the best and bring the best outcome of it. And then another diagnostic kits will be like metabolic disorder diseases. Because of our genetic factor, because of our unhealthy lifestyles, because we all like KFC, all right? Because we don't have food, we're always thinking about what will be doing, my job is gone, all right? Oxidative stress, too much coffee, not drinking enough water. So because of this lifestyle, or drinking too much alcohol, too much meat, no vegetables, no antioxidant, no exercise. So this, all those lifestyles can help you to get the metabolic disorder diseases unwanted. And at the end, it will go for the cardiac problem. That is what I told you. Another one, the metabolic, non-metabolic disorder disease. Like you can have, if you work in a company or government, they will pay you. But if somebody is obese, government will not pay you because it is not disease. And if somebody is very obese and having, and it is, you are obese, that means mostly you will have the type 1 or type 2 diabetes. And once if you get the insulin resistance, then mostly it is going to affect your eyes, kidney, knees. You cannot walk. And we lost a lot of high profile people. They had everything. Whatever they wanted on this earth, they can have it. But they did not have the health. Is it possible for us? We can help them, we can help everybody, and we can develop a kit or kits that can detect at the early stage, that can also help for the prognosis purpose. And if you are healthy, I am healthy. If I am healthy, we are all healthy. We are all healthy. Public health is very good stage. And then society will develop without asking too much. Now, some of you will look for this artificial intelligence and machine learning. Be honest, I don't know that much, but I am very much interested that how we can use the AI and or our ML for these purposes. I use AI every day. I use ML every day, and that is like whatever we are using one of them. Okay, but how we can use the medical purposes? Can we use in the middle of the medical? How we can use them? If I have the contact lens that can detect that who is around me, that can detect that my body temperature is going up, I have to take care. That can detect, okay, having the viral infection. That can tell, okay, you take care, you take rest today. Your oxidative level is very high today. Or you need to drink water. That will be absolutely great, all right? And future is moving that direction. So can we use AL and AML for that diagnostic purpose, medical purpose? Remember, we have to use. If you only use AL and that will solve the problem, maybe, I don't know that much. But again, we have to have the big data that is real story. And can we use the machine? And can we make a bridge? AL is very good, AML very good, and this modern drug discovery, they're also very good. But can we use all them together and make it very effective? I think some of you will be very much interested to look at it. If somebody is very good in coding, just make the algorithm and find out, okay, if you have this problem, 5 parameters, then you are going to this direction. Can you make the diagnostic kits? Okay, this. I can one shot. I can have 32 parameters from the blood, and I can tell, okay, what is your condition today? Can I can take the sweat. It is a non-invasive manner, and I can say, okay, today your body is looking like this. Please take care. So it can be used for preventive manner. It can be also used for curative manner. Can you use that for the developing algorithms using AL or AM and use for the human well-being? And this universe, as I told you, right? You are thinking right now, okay, if I have this robot and because of this COVID-19 that I did not mention at all, can I have the robot, which you already saw it, that they are serving some places. They are also serving in restaurant. But can I make the automation? Like, can I use in industry? There are a lot of people they're using already in this like big e-commerce. They're using robotic system. But what happened? That old people who gave us everything, but we don't have time for them. Can we have a robot who can have the human feelings and accompany them? It is a huge market. And one of the biggest market is Middle East because they don't have people. They have mostly 80 to 90% people are foreigners. And now because COVID-19, all people, they said we have to save our own people, and people are living. But if you have the system, the humanoid, they will lose it. You are using all the money if you have the humanoid. This is not only for the Middle East. Look at the market value. You can go everywhere. You don't have to go to the top of the mountain. You can go for it. You can go for this, wherever you want. You want to spray all those kind of disinfectant, deliver medicine, as somebody is coming you don't want, that has to be taken care. You want to have the future doctors that will not make mistake, that will also make the operation. If you want to have the well-being, somebody will make you laugh, telling you a lot of jokes. And you already know it is already there. If we say that Alexa, sing this song, is doing. But then what is next? Don't think that all big company, they will take over always good, innovative company. So if you start today, believe me or not, you can be next person who have the solution. And this global human enhancement market, I know what is going on I want to know this, what is going on with me. Today you see, if somebody is in ICU, all this artificial intelligence, all the machines, they are controlling that this human will be being over there or not. How you can enhance the activity, productivity, where you want to be, and reach the destination you want to be. AI or ML, both can help you out. So if you are very good at it, there is a huge market. Look at this. By 2064 billion, 2030, $271 billion, 14.7% growth per year. If you are very good on it, I will suggest, please look at it and just get a lot of information. Just don't go like, okay, I know how to code. A lot of people, they know how to code. But try to understand the around environment. Otherwise, at the end, you will find out that your target is not fixed. Try to be educated first. Once you are educated, your backbone is very strong, then nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. You know how to get the solution. And that will make you very much enriched, very much deliverable. And that will help you to have the persuasiveness. The 21st century, this is like just one slide, but this slide might be the solution for all the diseases that we could not cure. If you touch your skin, actually you are not touching your skin, you are touching the microorganisms. Today you are in a good mood, that is because of microorganisms sitting in your stomach. You enjoy your life because of microorganisms. You have a good health, that is because of microorganisms. So that's why sometimes I tell, or most of the times, let us live together. If every individual knows how to live together with microorganisms, then there will have no problem. But if in every individual as well as society we don't know how to do it, then this COVID-19 pandemic is the best example for it. You can't live without viruses. You can't live without microorganisms. And they are so tiny, even you can't see in your naked eyes. But it does not define that you will win. They are so powerful. So that's why it always says that you having the car or having big house is not very important. Having key to open the house, having key to open the car and drive it is very important. Your innovation is nothing but a key for running the society, for the development of the society. And if we don't take care of these microorganisms, the silent killer, which is developing every day, and because of COVID-19, it is just somehow, got back burner. That is antimicrobial resistance. Most of the people in ICU, they die not because of disease, that's because of AMR, antimicrobial resistance, which all the microorganisms, we treated them so badly. We treated them so unexpectedly. We put the toxic stuff when they did not want. Even we also don't want, and made them to be robust and resistant to everything. So most of the time, the ICU people, they passed away because of this AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Whole world is working on. One side, scientists are working how we can develop the organism that is very good for health, that can also combat the COVID-19 disease or any other similar pandemic in future. And same times, the bacteria, pathogenic bacteria who got resistance, how we can stop them or at least keep at the bay. So to finish all those things, I request you please have a look at this if you are Indian. Useful link, the people who wants to have grants or who wants to challenge their idea and put in front of others. That is Startup India. You can see because a lot of information they come. Then you can go to Ogni government. Then you can go to the BIRAC. They work heavily. Then you can go to the ISBA also. That is IIT Bombay. My Government, Millennium Alliance. Angels, Indian Angels, the VC, they want to give a lot of money. You can also connect with us, Juvenile and Tech Counselor, that if we think that this idea is very good, if you need the lab platform, then we can decide how we can move forward and we can work together. That's all. Thank you very much. Be safe. Mukesh, I'm done.
Hi Raj, thank
Yes.
you, thank you for such a wonderful, informative as well as insightful seminar and webinar. We can say it was really good to have like the whole theoretical as well as you can say from very minute prospect to understand how market is going to change in coming days, and then how medical thing and can be helpful with the collaborative approach toward by using the AI and ML. I'm very
Yeah.
sure that this kind of thing going to change the coming market and post COVID, everything going to change. And
Agree with
hopefully,
you.
like India, yeah, and India will be focusing more toward R&D and R&I and toward research and that kind of thing. So government is also having lot of budget, lot of funding for this kind of thing. Uh, you already have many government projects, so who
Thank you.
else can be better
Thank
approached
you.
for that kind of thing, right? So you have BIREC project, DRDO, and whatnot. So for the time being, I think you are having 4 projects, which I have the information, and
Yeah.
like few are in the pipeline. So that's great. So if anybody want to ask some question from the audience, they can ask. We are open for the Q&A. Like for any kind of question, we can directly we can directly respond to you over here. Raj, you can put the second slide for the time being, unless we get some questions. We'll wait for 2-3 minutes.
Second slide means, okay, from the very
Second slide of
beginning.
your presentation. Yeah, from the
Okay.
beginning. Until then, we will try to wait for some questions from the audience. Okay, we have got one question from Anuj. Yeah. So these are our participants and these are our experts basically who will be having with us for the whole month, and people can get benefited out of the expertise of these people. We are having almost 10 plus expert for the whole month, which will have around 40 plus modules, 40 plus hours for 10 plus module. So Raj, we have one question from Anuj. In CAR-T therapy, are we going to modify T cells in order to tackle cancer cells? And if so,
Yes.
can it affect its efficiency to activate B cells and maybe act as antigen for our immune system? Something more toward bio. I think you can handle it out.
It is biotechnology, am I right? It is
Yeah.
biotechnology. So it is what is,
So can you see the screen? Can you see the questions?
no, I don't.
Okay. You can cancel. You can stop the screen sharing. Then I think you can also read the questions.
Okay. Okay.
No. Can you
Sorry,
see
guys,
it?
I'm not that tech part. There are people, they're very tech.
Ha! No issues. No issues. So can you see
Yeah.
now? Questions at the
But
right side of the screen.
yeah, slide is not visible. Somebody said Sunil Sambal.
Okay, that we can do. It was the initial phase. You just go
Okay,
to the
yes.
last point
Okay, yeah, okay.
at the
Onuji said
bottom.
that CAR T therapy, are we going to modify T cell in order to tackle cancer cells? If so, Can it affect its efficacy to activate, affect it every B cell and maybe act as an antigen for the immune system? It is a part of that. It's part of that game. Okay, but mostly it is designed such a way that the cell will be that your own T cell will behave like your tumor cells. That is the way it will. So it will detect the cancer cells. Okay, it will detect the cancer cells. So that is the whole part.
Yeah, then we have one more, I think. Okay, most of the people have said thanks for the informative session. We are very much thankful to you all guys for such wonderful comments. And you can always write to Raj to his email ID. I'll just put that on the screen.
Somebody Dinesh said to receive grants for medical science from government. Is there any status required by the institute, like certificate from government? What is that
I
status?
think he might be asking more to like government funding. Like, do we need to have some other kind of accreditations or recognitions,
No, 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 no,
like
no.
status?
Don't worry about that. They always like to encourage young people. They don't mind what degree do you have it. If you don't have that degree, then you can say somebody is there to mentor, because if they like to have that.
Okay,
So
then
if
we
you have
have one more.
mentor,
Yeah, please answer him
yeah. So
first,
if you have
Dr. Raj.
mentor, then he's expert on your field, then you will not have any problem. As you know that you have the leadership, you have the persuasiveness, and you want to deliver it. But sometimes they want to make sure that somebody has strong knowledge, they can mentor that what is the problem and how to move forward, because we all are new entrepreneur, first generation entrepreneur. So that's why having mentor is sometimes very much important. Myself, I had it when I was in USA. Professor Peter Schultz. Today, whatever I am doing, that is it goes. Our thanks goes to him. He's having 8 companies, and he was the CEO of one Novartis institute, and that is where he put me in that direction. Yes,
Then
you
we
wanted
had
to
one
ask
more
me.
comment. I think, yeah, I think we had one more question from Amit Rai. It's on your screen. Can you check it?
Yes, yes. What are the reach for CSC student in this
Computer
field?
science student in the domain,
It is
and they can
huge.
implement.
Actually, guys, the whole world is with you, but you have to collaborate. What I'm trying to say that you are good at what you are good at, but you have to collaborate with the medical or scientists, that you can work at the very beginning, you can work together and develop a prototype that will give you the confidence. Once you are very much confident on your system, then you can go alone. That's why this Rabindranath Tagore is said, no, nobody will listen you, nobody will believe in you. No, don't worry, just go alone.
See, Dr. Raj is
I am not able to hear you. Mukesh, your voice is gone. Mukesh, I am not able to hear you.
for the biomedical part. People can directly communicate with Rubenile also. I'm just putting the email ID on the screen. Rubenile@gmail.com. And for the IoT or AI or ML, we do have a collaborative approach to it, and we have been working for the COVID also, and we have written many good research articles, and right now working to have collaborative, you can say, approach. So you guys can always communicate with us, and we'll always be there to support you with your R&D, with your research driven inputs, right? And then
Yeah.
if Raj can just just can you help me out, like the kind of project you are right now having, just briefly of 1 or 2 minutes something. Just
Look,
1 minute.
yeah. So, couple of projects we are working also on defense as well as microorganisms. We are also working on biodegradable plastic. But by long-term projects is monoclonal antibody, mostly biomedical. We develop already one product which is ready for marketing. That is mostly for the societal development. We are using natural biopolymer that can be used by anybody for printable erasable paper and writable erasable board as well as slate. That product is ready for the marketing, and that is from Rubenile itself. With the DRDO, we are also working. That is defense that cannot be disclosed. But Rubenile is very much accommodated for the societal development and heavily is investing on COVID-19. Heavily investing on COVID-19, and we hopefully will get some information or help from government of India to deploy our product on COVID-19. But yet to see that how government is thinking about it.
Yes, yes, of course, you'll have it, and my best wishes to the whole Rubenile team
Thank you.
as well as to your collaborators for this. So now I think we would like to end the session, and
Sure.
it was indeed great pleasure to have you with us for the session. And we had really interactive sessions. People have asked so many questions, and if you'll see the comment from the initiative initial part, you'll understand like how many people have been over there and they have been reacting, responding for the inputs and all. So Raj,
Okay.
certainly you'll have some inputs from the some queries from the participant in the long term, and again we will try to be as responsive as with them. So
Sure, sure, no problem.
thank you for your valuable time, Raj. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Bye.
So before I end the session, I'll just put a small thing like who will be our next expert. So tomorrow we'll have Madan Kanala with us, who is the founder and CEO for SNOM Incorporation, based out at Canada, and he'll be talking on digital enablement for the workforce through IoT technologies. His company working on IoT solutions with innovative IoT products, which include SNOM Marker, Beacon, and that kind of thing. His website is snoam.io, and his session will be for the Indian audience from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And for the Canada based audience it will be 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. So timing will be slightly different, so kindly do note that particular part, and make your calendar accordingly. So he'll have practical approach as well as uh, discussion on his products which his company have launched in the past. So we will welcome him tomorrow at 5 p.m. And he'll have almost 1 hour of talk, like how his company is working and how he has developed different kind of products. So thank you all guys, and this program was like this is 1 month international online internship program on opportunities for R&D ecosystem and tech driven startup. This program is being run under the initiative AVNI, which is initiative by the tech counselor. So thank you all.